All right, this is Jack Hopkins, and I want to talk about the news today. New information that we've got about Pete Hegseth and the information that he shared with his wife and brother. We learned today that that information came from a top general, a secure message from a top general. And look, just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. Now, why is it significant that this came from a secure message from one of the top generals? Who do you think is involved in the knee-deep planning of an attack like the one this is all about in Yemen? You think it might be the top generals, perhaps? Look, there are conversations that I have had with clients of mine over the years that is fascinating and intriguing and conversation worthy as they would be, that I've never shared with my wife, my sister, my parents, my friends. And I haven't done that because, one, it would be a violation of the law. Number two, I know that it would only take one time of something a client of mine shared with me that I shared with someone else, of getting back to one single client, and the word would spread quickly that I could not be trusted, that don't go see him. He's great as a therapist, but you just can't trust him as far as what you tell him, because he might tell somebody else. I never wanted to be that guy. And I also didn't want to violate the law and get myself in trouble. These are things that don't apply to Pete Hegseth. And the sad thing about this whole thing, if you really drill down, is that we already knew this about Pete Hegseth. We already knew he didn't have strong values. We already knew that he was not this moral and ethical character that we could trust in a position like this, or any position for that matter. But here we are, Pete Hegseth as the Secretary of Defense. Now look, a lot of things are happening around the country in terms of protest and in terms of people online connecting, organizing, and calling their representatives, emailing their representatives, showing up at their representatives' offices and knocking on doors and requesting to talk to people. All of those things are happening, and it's exciting that it's happening. But it's not happening in a big enough and a grand enough way or fast enough. Because I don't know if you have even heard this yet. It was a breaking story about 30 minutes, maybe an hour ago, that one of the top producers at 60 Minutes, one of the top producers at 60 Minutes, is stepping down. And why? Because he can no longer make the decisions he wants to make. He can no longer decide. Now, we all know how the news and how television works in Russia. It's happening here now. It's happening here now. I think there will be, this is just the tip of the iceberg with 60 Minutes. I would almost guarantee there's going to be more on this story. 60 Minutes over the years, in being truthful, has been harsh on President Trump at times. But in the name of honesty and truth, Trump doesn't like that. Trump doesn't want that. And Trump is in the process of making that go away, not just at 60 Minutes, but everywhere. We've got to step things up. Now, it's up to us. It is up to us. We can't count on our elected leaders to do the job that we know we are going to have to do. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't up the tempo with demanding that they do something, because some of them might. And of course, you could argue that some of them already are. And I would say this, it applies to them too. They need to pick it up. We aren't seeing stories daily from our Democratic leaders having done this big, bold, vivacious thing that captures the news of the day. We are not seeing that. We have to see that. If not now, when? We have to see that, and we have to start seeing it immediately, because the pace at which the Trump administration is moving is insane, and it's quickening. You can hear it. It's picking up. It's moving fast. And it won't be long until there is no one left in the news, on TV shows like 60 Minutes, no one left to be able to tell the truth, because everyone is now too scared. They caved in, and we cannot have that happen. So I initially intended to make this just about Pete Hegseth, but with the news on 60 Minutes, there's no way I could have just left that story out of it. It's important. It's incredibly important. Think of the things that you have learned from watching 60 Minutes over the years. Think of the things you would have never have known about, or the people that you have seen interviewed, getting grilled, that you probably would have never seen getting grilled anywhere else. And think about the significance of that if that goes away. There's no longer anyone to grill someone and put them on the spot and demand or ask tough questions. If that all goes away, it's over. Once that's gone, it's done. It's over. This is not a drill. This is Jack Hopkins, and I'll talk to you again soon.